Hey everybody, so I thought today would be fun to do an e.l.f. rehaul. And for any of you wondering, a rehaul is when you go back on a haul and you look at the products that you purchased at that point, and then you talk about whether you would purchase them again or have you, or whether they just didn't work out for you, or one of those you just simply forgot the product existed right after you got it home. I want to say that I didn't do that on any of these, forgot the product existed, but some of them didn't end up working out for me. So I do have on my phone here my list of what it was that I did purchase that day. So I'm sorry if I'm not going to be making a lot of eye contact in the video. I do have to kind of keep this so I kind of remember what was there. So this was my first ever e.l.f. haul that I did. When I purchased, they had a collection, a summer collection, where when you spent a certain amount of money, you got that collection for free. And I got quite a few things in that collection to try out, which I was pretty grateful for because I was very new to the brand, and really, other than a couple of YouTube videos, I didn't really know anything about that. So the first product I have, which I don't have anymore, were the Sweet Mango Lotion Wipes. They were okay. The idea that I had was to put them in the fridge to keep them very cold in summer. It was very cooling on the décolleté, on the back of my neck, stuff like that. Worked okay for that, but they're not really hydrating, so I don't really see the need to purchase more when a damp cloth can do the same kind of idea, and it doesn't leave my skin with that scent that I'm not a big fan of, so that's what ended up with that. The Studio Moisture Stick. This one is a $6 product. Very clear, kind of like a lip balm thing. It's okay. This one did come in handy, completely clear. This one did come in handy for me though when I did have dryness on my lids. It did do a decent job of that. It really hydrated on there. I was really dealing with cracked lids on my eyes for a while, and they were very sore and irritated, and this really helped to soothe them, so I do appreciate that. This one does have some really good ingredients in there, like grape, cocoa, shea, avocado, macadamia, aloe, and chamomile, so it is really soothing product. It just didn't really work for me personally on as many factors I thought it would, per se. The next thing I got was the Body Shimmer Stick in Golden Glow, and this one, again, I think it's very deodorant styled kind of thing, and I think the problem for me, again, with this one is just the color, for me, was just a little too much. I think as an eyeshadow, this would actually be pretty decent. I might like it in that capacity. I really should keep this out, actually, to try it a couple more times. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to toss it and just say, you know what? Que sera, just didn't work for me. I really do like it, but the idea of this is that you would put this over your body and get weird streaks apparently now, and then it would give your whole body some glow. You would rub it on and rub it in, and I didn't like it in that capacity. I didn't like it as a highlight or anything like that. That's the only thing I can think of using this for is cream eyeshadow kind of thing, but we'll see how that goes, honestly. But that was not a big hit for me. Then I have the Flawless Eyeshadow Quad in Beautiful Browns. That was from that set as well. I really, really do love that one. I love it so much that I can't find where I put it. I think it's at work, but I do use that one quite frequently. It was a very beautiful shade of browns. It's not specifically just meant for people with brown eyes, I feel. Like, I think this one could work for everybody, because they really touted that one on the website as for people with brown eyes. It was the good one. Then I also got a mineral eyeshadow primer in sheer. I really do love this. I've repurchased it 2 times now, or 3, and I do really quite love it. And then the last thing in that set was also the Goddess shade of the Super Glossy Lip Shines, and I do quite like this one. It goes with an array of looks, and it is just a beautiful sheen of color on there. It's just, I really do. I am quite a fan of that. And I do love these products, actually, because what you see on the packaging on the outside, generally speaking, is that color that you get. So you can really quite see how those two basically are the same color right there. And it really is great because of that. Now, these are the items that I purchased on my own. I did the Essential Brightening Eye Color Quads in Drama and Day to Night. and they don't want to open for you. So this one is Drama. It does come with a little mirror there, but it just has a beautiful white, gray, charcoal, silver, and a black just to do a smoky eye really easily. And then Day to Night has this beautiful, there it is, beautiful, like, very deep black and brown, nice plum color, and then also a very nice cream shade as well. Quite enjoyed that. I've used both of them constantly, honestly and truthfully. And then I got more glossy lip shines because I really wanted to test them out and see how I like it. So then I got Juiced Berry. This one is the most sheer of the bunch, I would say, but it still does add a bit of color to my lips, which I do like. I am a fan of that. I also got Pink Kiss. This one is really pretty as well. Right there. And then the last one I did was Watermelon. And it's a little bit deeper, I would say, than Pink Kiss. More of a kind of like a raspberry kind of toned, but very light sorbet color right there. But I am quite a fan of all of those. I do use them fairly frequently, especially if I do a matte lip color. I really like a gloss on top of it. It's just my personal way to wear mattes. I don't really appreciate them when they're very matte on me, but it doesn't say I don't use that like that. I do. Essential Tinted Moisturizer SPF 15 in Ivory. I just don't waste your money. Honestly, guys, don't waste your money. For me, I don't know if it's because of my shade. Generally speaking, when you are fair, it is extremely hard for them to get a good color match to you that doesn't make you look weird, and it doesn't, but then yet again, doesn't have no color whatsoever. And that moisturizer had no color whatsoever. Tinted, not even. The Essential Eye Crease Brush. Unfortunately for me, that one did break. The bristles came right out of the ferrule. I don't know if it got too much water in there maybe when I was cleaning it sometimes, or if it's just I got a bad one, or shipping it to Canada sometimes with the cold. I don't know, but it did not work out for me, so it was sad. Essential Hyper Shine Gloss in Bare. This one, honestly and truthfully, you can see I have a crack in that lid, and I love this color so much. This one, the bristles are tainted a different color because I use this one all the freaking time. But the gloss is very light like that. I really, as you can tell, like it on darker colors because it really gives you that beautiful kind of like a highlight for your lips, if you will. That's the shade right there. Just beautiful. Just a beautiful little sheen right here. And you can just see it just really pops that lip, makes it look a little bit more powderier, and I really am a fan of that, actually. I really do love that. It started all the way down to here. I'm about halfway through, and I do use that one fairly consistently, so I am quite a fan of that product myself. Okay, the Essential Cover Everything Concealer in Light. This one, issues. Recently, I've done a video about products I've changed my mind about. This one was featured in there, and frankly and truthfully, it was packaging on that. It came in a little pan, very similar to this, but it was concealer in that. And it was very liquidy, very goopy, very runny. It wasn't thick or emollient whatsoever. You could barely put it on a problem area. Like sometimes you'll get redness in here, so you pat it in there and it shifts out on you as soon as you pat it in there. It was just awful. Well then, unfortunately, fortunately, one day the lid cracked completely on me, so it dried out. And when it dried out, it actually gave me this beautiful kind of like mousse-like texture that really is beautiful at blending out blemishes and stuff like that. Like this one actually is pretty freaking decent for me for blending out stuff. I use it with like a beauty blender sponge. I say it like that because it is a dupe for a beauty blender. But I really do quite like it in that capacity. It's one of my favorites, and I've actually recently started using it again because of that thick emollient texture and the way I apply that. Then I purchased some Studio Makeup removing cloths. They were okay. It wasn't amazing. I didn't really feel like they were like, yes, let's go buy more. So for me, that basically says that I didn't quite enjoy them. Then I got the Baked Eyeshadow in Enchanted. This is beautiful. You can use this as a highlighter or as a shadow. It's right here. It's kind of hard to see on my skin because it is actually highlighter friendly, but it's like a baby color right there. It's a baby of that, like very, very sheer color to that one. It looks great, wet or dry. Highlighter, eyeshadow, a little bit on the lips sometimes. Not saying I do it often, but you can. Let's see. Then I got the maximum coverage, concealer. This is oil free, they say. Feels like it has some oil to me personally, but it is a really good one. And again, I wasn't a really huge fan of it because this one is extremely liquidy. So I wasn't a big fan of it at the start. It was okay. I had a time period where I wasn't really using a lot of concealers, and for me, it was okay, but it wasn't enough of a yes, let's use it to make me open that drawer and pull out that product, if you get my drift. If you get my drift. It's one of those products that, like, I know a product that I love, and this is the ones that make it into my favorite video. If those are the ones that it's in another room, but I'll lift up and go get it. Or when I don't have it on hand, I know I don't have it on hand. I remember it right away. I'm like, well, where is that? I love that product. I can't find it. That to me is these products for myself. And those are the ones that make it in the favorite. But actually, now that I have that Beauty Blender dupe, that actually has become a fairly decent concealer, and I do like to use it, especially when I do BB creams. I get like rosacea right in this area, and I do like to pounce that in there. It's fun. And then I then I purchased Endless Prize in Classic. Okay, this is in the shade Weekender. Then I got two of them. There's the 32-piece eyeshadow set. This one is in the shade Weekender. Actually, I go like that. You get it came with a it came with a black handled eyeshadow brush set, the classic one. I do love those. It's part of my brush sets right now. I do love them. And this was in the shade the limited edition one in Classic. I really do like this one. I don't use it as much as I could, honestly and truthfully, because I'm just I forget about having all of these, honestly and truthfully. I think it would be handy to be able to depot these, or just to kind of force myself to use them more like I am with the beauty books and stuff now. But I really do quite enjoy these. It has some really unique shades, like this gold right here is just a gorgeous gold. Running out of room to swatch it, but it's just pretty. And that kind of navy, well, it is actually extremely navy shade here, with a little bit of apparently some black toned into it, more like a navy charcoal, if that makes sense. It's very unique. I don't have anything like that in my collection that I'm like, oh yeah, I have that, And the pigmentation on these can be iffy. Yeah, like this black one is a little bit harder to get pigmentation on. However, like, there's shades in here that, to my liking, really do make up for that in my eyes. Like, those are some of the shades. And it really, like, some of the pigmentation really does make itself more pronounced and well-known. So for me, and I'm aware of it, this black shade here isn't that great, but I have a black shade in my collection already that's fantastic. If I need a matte freaking black, I will go into my Wet n Wild's Comfort Zone palette in blue. Blue had me at hello, and I do have a review on that somewhere in here on my channel. But that's my black, so like for me, it's not a BFD if that's not the mattest black I have. Sometimes, frankly, I do like to have a couple of shades that aren't completely matte black, because then you kind of get a more smoky effect, if you will, more blurred lines. So anywho's, you gotta love me. This is leave me or take me. Anyway, guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching again. I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. And if you're curious about this look, it will be posted on my channel pretty quickly. So I want to say thank you again and take care. Bye!